Coming up with story ideas. So you want to write, but you don't know what to write about. This creativity slump happens to the best of us. It happens from time to time, and honestly, there are so many ways to combat this, to get out of this slump, and we're going to be talking about them today in this video. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. So number one is the most obvious one, and that is writing prompts. Writing prompts can be found literally anywhere. You can find books full of writing prompts, you can find them on Instagram, you can find them on Facebook. I know that there are a bunch of people who have newsletters in which they share writing prompts every month, which can be useful. I think that writing prompts are a really great tool to use, especially when nothing seems to be working for you, and it can actually pose as a challenge sometimes, which is also a great thing as a writer, to challenge yourself constantly. And when you stick to a writing prompt, it can actually challenge you to write in ways that you never would have, or, you know, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, which is, again, another great thing. So look for writing prompts. Who knows, you might find inspiration for a short story, or you actually might find some inspiration to pursue your story just a little bit further into a full-fledged novel. Who knows? So number two is coming up with characters before your plot. Some people come up with the protagonist beforehand. Sometimes it's easier to come up with a villain. I find it much more easier going into a story knowing who my characters are, and it's something I do personally when writing up stories. And it's actually quite a fun exercise if you think about it. I know that many other people do this as well. Stories rely heavily on good characters. So if you have a good, solid character that, you know, you've really got the gist of who they are and what they want out of the story, then I feel like you're already halfway there, and it makes it much more easier making the world around them and the story around them. I have seen so many people talking about how they would like to imagine up scenarios in the middle of the night and then base their stories upon those scenarios. And honestly, I don't think there is anyone out there that hasn't done that. I think good stories do incorporate certain elements and themes from real life, and those stories are seemingly the most memorable ones to us, and the ones that, you know, really connect with readers. Think about memorable experiences, memorable places you've been to, and don't be shy in, you know, trying to draw inspiration from those things. I find that it's a really good way to connect with readers and keep your story really close to reality, something that's not too far-fetched. So drawing inspiration from reality could really take your book to a whole nother level, and is worth considering. Number four is a tip for while you're writing, and that's to come up with songs that really match the theme of your book. They match the emotion that you're trying to convey in your book. And it's something that I do as well, more often than not. When you reach the middle of your book and you know, too many things are happening, it's easy to forget the tone and, you know, everything that was following behind. And so I have like playlists for my books, and I listen to them while writing, and it kind of keeps me on track. It reminds me of the theme I'm trying to incorporate into my book, so I'm not drifting between tones. Obviously, these things can be fixed in editing later on. So coming up with playlists can be a great way to, you know, keep your creativity flowing and keeping inspired, really. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not something essential at all, but you can use it as a tool to construct certain parts of your story. Come up with collages of things that remind you what is important to the character. You could do these as notes as well. You don't have to go with the whole picture thing. You can write little notes about your characters individually, reminding yourself what's important to these characters, things that should be mentioned throughout the story. This will help you filter out the unnecessary information that we often bring about with supporting characters. Number five, think about your favorite books and your favorite TV shows. What led you to pick up that specific book at a bookshop, and what led you to actually buying that book and reading the entire thing through? Think about those themes and the way certain shows and books made you feel. Did you find those books memorable? And if so, why? It might be worth noting these things down so you can incorporate these kind of feelings into your book, so you establish connection with your readers. There are definitely going to be people out there who were attracted to the same kind of books and were interested by the same kind of stories. So when you're done with your book, it might be useful to incorporate the same kind of themes the same kind of level of connection with the readers. Anyway, I hope you found today's video useful. Let me know how you come up with story ideas, if there are any exercises that you do, things that weren't mentioned in this video. Even if they were, let me know about that. I would love to read your comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.